Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. In today's video we will be looking at another alternate country. Today's country is going to be United West Africa. The suggestion came from Dove Squire. Thank you very much. This country would exist in the same universe as the North African Federation. They would own Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, and also the parts of Mali and Niger that the North African Federation don't own. Their flag would look like this. The colors are the Pan-African colors, and each black star represents a country in the Union. Some big cities would be Lagos, Abidjan, Kano, Ibadan, Dakar, and Bamako. Their capital would be Lagos because it's the capital of Nigeria, the biggest country in the Union. But how would they be able to form? 2021, many African nations have big amounts of debt. This is not good for the economy because they will have to repay all of the debt. I believe that some nations who already have a big economy like Nigeria would be able to pay off the debt, but not all the countries would be able to do so. So when some smaller countries see that the North African Federation was very successful and that their economy blew up, they decide that they should do it too. 2049, the Union was founded, but first only with Liberia, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. By the middle of year 2050, all countries without Mali and Niger have joined the Union. But after some time, they decide to join too, because they think that with the help of the Union, they will be able to take back their old lands. All this unification would probably be a hard time for the leaders to get everything to work. Another problem for the Union is warmer climate and bigger deserts. During the last century, the Sahara Desert has grown by about 10%. This is a big threat to all African countries because the desert is mostly unusable. This is why they would need to build a tree wall. Today, an African-led movement called the Great Green Wall has already started with the tree wall, but they need more investments to be able to finish. The country would have diverse cultures and many different tribes, but they would only have two national languages, which are French and English. They speak those languages because they were colonized by the French and the English. 2050, China and India would have a much higher economy and probably be a high-income country. This means that the workforce will cost much more there. So many companies would choose to build their factories in West Africa instead because they would have a much cheaper labor force. 2050, all West African Union countries would have a population of around 735 million people. This would make them the third most populated country before United States and after China. Nigeria would actually grow twice as big as 2020. Many of the fastest growing economies are from Africa, and some are in the United West African region, such as Ivory Coast, who grew 7.40%, and Senegal, who grew 6.9%. Sadly, because of COVID-19, this huge growth has gone down by a lot, but they will be able to recover and grow more again. The region of West Africa has many natural resources. Ghana has a lot of gold and Nigeria has a lot of oil. Together, all countries produce around 2,239,000 barrels of oil per day. That makes them the 11th biggest oil producer. But how big would their military be? The West African army would have the same system as the Nigerian army because they have the best army of all the countries in the Union. The Nigerian army takes volunteers from 18 to 22 years old. Around 4% of all the population year 2050 would be 18 to 22 years old. So, if we multiply 0.04 times the population of West Africa, then we get 290,400,000 persons. But to see if I'm right, you will have to wait until year 2050. Today they have around 536 tanks, but I believe that in the future they will have less because they will have to decommission old tanks. Most of their tanks are Vickers main battle tank Mark III from Brittany. They got these tanks 1981, so they are already 40 years old. They have an okay air force. Nigeria today has 30 combat aircrafts and 6 on order. All countries together have 87 attack aircraft, but some of them are light attack aircrafts. Their air force would grow because it's very important to control the skies in a war. They currently have 17 attack aircrafts on order. They have a small navy that would never be able to win over naval power, but that's not what they need. The navy is for protecting the coast from illegal fishing. Today they have only 1 frigate, but they have more than 100 patrol vessels. But that's not enough, they would have to buy more of them. 2017, Nigeria alone lost $70 to $800 million on illegal fishing. Many villages are also starving because they can't find fish. I think that by 2050 they will either have the problem under control or their waters are completely empty of fish. But what would this new country mean for the world? It would lead to free trade and no borders between all the countries because now they are one country together. As I already said, when the country would form, there would be an administrative nightmare. Because of their growing population, they would have a big workforce and make a lot of money like China and India does today. Mali and Niger would join the union because they feel threatened by the North African Federation. Even after 30 years, they would still be bitter about their lost territory. But only Mali and Niger would have 0% chance of winning a war against the North African Federation. So that's why they would join the West African Union. It's highly unlikely that there would be a war fought around the territory, but there might be getting it back diplomatically. When their economy would start to grow, the people would also live better lives and their military would get bigger. The biggest problem would be the growing climate change, which can make famines and economic downturn. Because then they have less jungle, fish and fertile land. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am grateful if you leave a comment or subscribe.